Ashver.com.
Hello and welcome to Ashver.com. You are watching an interesting video on overindulging and creating self-centered children, parenting style and development of personality.
Please read the disclaimer carefully.
Parenting is undoubtedly the most difficult undertaking on the planet. Providing sustenance to and being responsible for little human beings can be a draining task that comes without much instruction. Moreover, when you're dealing with the personalities, temperaments, likes, and dislikes of these little people, it makes parenting each unique individual child quite a challenge. It is said that a child's personality is formed by the age of 3 and fully developed by the age of 7. Depending on which study or theory you ascribe to, the general consensus is that there is truth to this observation. Ask any parent who has dealt with the personality of his young child and he will probably agree that it is indeed a fact. The personality of your child can make parenting all the more challenging. It certainly prompts educators and researchers to wonder about the effects of parenting styles on the child's behavior and formation of that personality, particularly the formation of the self-centered personality that blooms in adulthood. The focus of this article is to explore the parenting style of the overindulgent parent and the factors that contribute to the development of the narcissistic, self-centered child. The purpose is to provide parents with information to help them determine if their parenting style is contributing negatively to behaviors and attitudes in their children that could lead to self-centered personality traits. The goal is to prevent parents from raising children in a home environment that may produce unhealthy, self-centered adults in the future. Research is presented with implications indicating that overindulged children grow up to become adults with traits consistent with materialism, unhappiness, and self-centeredness. According to researcher David Bredehoft, an overindulgent parent tends to provide their children with every need and want out of unconditional love for the child. They place no limit on supplying the child's wishes, nor do they place limits on the child. They are permissive about setting boundaries and believe it is good for the child to have free reign of choices and be able to make decisions. Overindulgent parents often give their children too much, too early, creating children who later become self-centered with a sense of entitlement. They truly love their children unconditionally and may be driven by their own unresolved feelings of neglect and impoverishment. Hence, their parenting philosophies may be driven by a need to vicariously live through the child's happiness, provided at all costs, fulfilling their own unmet needs. The behaviors and attitudes of the overindulgent parent include lack of limit setting and boundaries on the child's behavior and autonomy, lack of balance between discipline and praise, inability to say no and mean no, the nag factor, Jill Rigby, belief that the child should not lack for anything, lack of adherence to rules and assignment of responsibilities in the home, high tolerance for back talk, verbal challenges, and disrespectful behavior in the name of building assertiveness and independence. 4 parenting styles and the impacts on the child. In a 2010 study by Mary Arslinger and David Bredehoft, the relationship between childhood overindulgence and adult attitudes and behavior was explored. Based on questionnaires using psychological scale measures, the researchers looked at whether or not overindulged children were more likely to become adults who are materialistic, unhappy, unable to delay gratification, and less grateful than other adults. They found the following with implications. Overindulged participants in the study were more likely to hold values that were congruent with materialism in terms of defining success and happiness. Overindulged participants were less likely to delay gratification. Overindulged participants were less likely to embrace gratefulness, and subsequently, overindulged participants were less happy than those participants who were not overindulged. Jill Rigby, a leader and expert in the field, states that overindulgent parenting is a result of the self-absorbed society in which we live. Parents are raising children whose immediate wants and materialistic needs are met with no balance in teaching compassion, love, patience, and responsibility. In my experience in family counseling and parenting issues, overindulgence is also a way to compensate for benign neglect of children who are left to parent themselves. The demands of shift work and overtime hours cause parents to shower their children with material things to make up for being absent. They will forego the enforcement of discipline and end up overcompensating for their lack of hands-on parenting. The children soon learn to get what they want as they play on the parent's skill. Be aware of any unresolved issues you may be addressing through the parenting of your children. Realize that discipline and limit setting are forms of love. Children see that you care about what happens to them when you enforce boundaries to keep them safe. Learn to say no and mean it by placing limits on yourself with firmness and follow through. Limit your catering to your child's every whim and lower your tolerance level for disrespectful behavior. Take back control of your household by re-establishing your authority. Establish consistency in your parenting by starting early with your child. Teach your children values that encompass compassion, empathy, and gratefulness. Parenting is difficult enough as you make your best efforts to provide your children with basic needs. The manner in which you provide these needs is determined by your parenting style philosophy. Parenting style ultimately contributes to the development of your child as a person. It is vitally important for parents to increase their awareness of parenting styles and the impact it has on raising a healthy, stable child. Research shows that overindulgent parenting has a tendency to produce self-centered adults with unhealthy attitudes about how they relate to the world. The future of our world will benefit less from self-centeredness and more from a display of empathy and compassion for humanity as a whole.
Thank you for watching this interesting and informative video. This channel offers motivational, inspirational, valuable and informative videos to soothe, cleanse and inspire your health, mind, body and spirit. You can find a lot of interesting videos on wide range of topics here. Stay tuned and keep watching.